Hey folks, my name is Ravish and welcome back to another video in the series of DevOps interviews. Now, before moving further, I would like to say that the sound in this video is will be coming from one side because I am not in Bangalore right now. I'm at my hometown and I'm kind of technologically handicapped right now with all the tools and technology that I had to record the video and to edit the video. So while recording this video, I didn't pay attention and it was creating an echo. So in order to make it right, I had to stop from one side and then right left combination. I have to take from one of the right parts. So the echo part won't be there, but the sound will be a little disoriented. All right. So that was one thing. So I'm really sorry about that. And so let's discuss about the profile today that I have with me. So the person that I'm interviewing today is having around 6 years of experience, and according to him, he started his career as a DevOps engineer only, and he's saying that his DevOps experience is 6 years, and the cloud experience he's having is around 6 years, but having 5 years in AWS dedicatedly. That was the one. So this whole interview would be close to 30 minutes, but would be concentrated mostly on the project. So I'll be discussing about the project that he was working on and each and every stage in the project that what he was doing. We have bifurcated into two parts, CI part and the CD part, and what exactly is happening over there, what is the process and the deployment part as well. All right. So at the end, I asked him one question, a kind of case study question on the AWS, so you can note down that question. And after that, one question on the Kubernetes, and that was the only two questions were different. The question was on schedule based auto scaling that I asked him. All right, so that would be all for today for this interview. And again, I would like to request that please subscribe to the channel because it really motivates me to create more content like this. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so like what are the tools and technologies that you have worked on?
So the major tools coming from end to end, we are using Git, GitHub, Maven, Jenkins, and Docker, Kubernetes, Spinnaker. Spinnaker we have used Grafana, Prometheus, and Splunk. Site Reminder for ticketing tool we have used CST. For project build we have used CST as well as Radar also we have used. For internal we have used Service Now tool actually.
Okay. Okay.
These are the major tools which have been exposed.
Okay. Okay. So your total years of experience is
6+ years of experience.
6+, and your experience in DevOps?
Yeah, similar.
So you started your career as a DevOps?
Yeah. As a junior, I joined as a build engineer at that time. It was called not at all DevOps at that time when I joined. Build and release engineer like that. So from there itself, I have joined. I joined as a fresher.
Amazing. I mean, it's really hard to find people who started their career as a DevOps.
Yeah. Thing is that one of my friends' brother, he was in the build and release engineer. At that time, he was having 10 years of experience. Not in build and release engineer, as an IT experience he was having. He suggested me to proceed with this one. He guided me and how to get in and to work as a. So based on his suggestions, and we took trial and we just came. Earlier, I was worked as for 1 month. I worked as an admin related role. I just asked them, please can you shift me to the other things so that I learned first of is by exploring the some like online tutorials at that time. Just went through and showed my some POC to them. So they are just impressed, and then they asked because my background, how did you survive? I said I took this as a challenge. I can proceed. I can do whatever I can. Like that, I said. I just convinced them. They satisfied.
Great. So, and your experience, relevant experience in cloud?
Yeah, it's 5 years.
5 years. So, what cloud do you
And in
prefer?
AWS it's 5 years. Overall, it is 6 years only. When it's specific to AWS, it's 5 years.
Okay, so AWS is something that you are comfortable on. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you explain me like what kind of project you work on?
For which present project you're asking? Or,
Like currently?
Yeah, currently it's joint mobile engineering technology, which is purely related to factory-oriented project actually. So where Apple products will be like MacBook or and mobile phones, iPhones, iPads, whatever it is there. For that each and everything, it will be having, and again, sub components will be there in the each and every product. So that will be having the ceiling, like skyline. There are certain tests will be going on. Ceiling is the last job it needs to run, and ceiling which will be dependent upon skyline and raptor. And like that, there are 12 applications for that. 12 applications which were located, each application located in the 52 locations actually.
No. I'm trying to understand like what category your application falls into. For example, it's a desktop-based application. It's a web-based application. Do you create a web service? What kind of application is it? It is like, did you get it?
Yeah, got it.
For example,
Yes, sir.
I'll just help you out. For example, if I'm working at Facebook and creating my product is Facebook, so my product is online. I mean, it has to be online so that people can use it. So my product is web-based product. If I
Okay.
make any kind of software, I sell it. I just download it and install on my system. That kind of software. So I just wanted to understand like what kind of software is this or what kind of application you guys build.
So generally, it's related software kind of project only related to like manufacturing where web servers, Tomcat related oriented applications that we have deployed where this all web page they will be using. So backend Tomcat related servers applications will be running behind.
As a
So it's
user,
related
if I'm a user of your application, how do I access your application?
by URL or else by URL we will be accessing it.
URL. So it's a web-based application.
Yeah, web-based application.
Okay, great.
So it is for internal purpose only. External we won't be using. So external web page is separate actually. That is called my page. So that will be provided to the external users, but internally we are using other section, other web pages as well.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, your customer is internal only. Who is your end customer?
End customer is the people who are buying it. They are the end customers. But thing is that we are supporting an applications which will make a smoother manufacturing and like that Apple products related.
Okay, got it.
So at the time of when ceiling goes up, ceiling in the sense all the serial numbers or ID numbers of the product which will get assembled in China. So where what happens, this has to go with some further tests actually. So for that when it goes test, everything goes right, then it will be sealed and packed and sent it to the customer related website or wherever it may be. Like so from there they will be buying it.
Okay. And what is your role in that project?
Yeah, here my role here is that doing the build and deployment, patching activity, monthly activity will be getting patching, and the migration activity also. Migration kind of like OS related. So from OS 6 to 7 version we have migrated recently. Not only this one, pairing activity also we do, and we are like some issues we will be getting like display issues and what is that called? Not only space issues and load issues also, load average issues also we'll be getting. So we are continuously monitoring all the mails and resolving the issues like that.
Okay.
And we are also doing some stress kind of as well in the non-prod environment. So there we are simulating the same whatever the production is having, same request will be sending from our servers. Servers is mostly all the test cases were deployed into the server called the river server. From the river, which is configured with the Kubernetes where pods will be running. So whatever the request which is going, the request from the application will be getting into just we have simulated the same production environment. Some requests which will be coming from the external source to the internal. So that will be routed to the production servers, right? In the same way, we have did it from our non-prod environment. Request will be the application will be running in the non-prod host. From here, the request will be hitting the pods actually.
Okay.
So the pods, one pod or two pods, like that we have increased the stress actually. The test cases will be keeps on running. So first we will increment with the 10, then 20, 30, 40. Like we will go with the 400. When we are going to the 400, the test runs that number of requests also should reach more than 10 requests per second. If it is reaching that one, even though we are increasing the clients, then we can conclude this test has been succeeded. This could be simulated in the production for like that. We have used test cases.
Okay.
River.
So you folks create your pipelines in what software? Jenkins or something else?
Yeah, we mostly we used both cases, but at present we are using Spinnaker due to some outage issue, some user interference issue we have noticed. So Spinnaker has been used. So in Spinnaker we have earlier we were doing the migration, right? So it was like there are five phases it needs to go. First thing is that we need to take the pre-checks. So how the host process, whether it's running or not, how it is present. Actually, the process and all the backup taking and all. So that after process taken, this all pre-checks has been checked. Then we need to go with the backup. Actually, before going with the backup, we need to make it unbind from the load balancing from sheet server. We are having our own internal load balancing server that is called Shield, Monsoon related. So where it has to be unbinded, that has to be request has to be sent to the network team. They will unbind. Once we get the unbind request, right, we will take the backup. Then we will stop the process. And once we stop the process, right, we will send it to the again network team. They will migrate. Earlier, even before this one, we only did migrated everything we have done. But coming to this project at present, ATP we have done our own only. But coming to specific to this project, we were sending it to the network team. So they will migrate. Once they confirm, right, we will again restore that. And what will happen? Restoring. Then we will go with the restarting the process. Then after the restoring, we will check with the post checks actually. If post checks goes fine, then we will again go with the binding back to the servers for the routing. Once that is confirmed, then we will make it one more thing is the confirmation. We were doing this was doing manually. So here also there was again one more.
No, one second. I think we are digressing. So you folks are using Spinnaker, right?
Yes.
Okay. Can you explain me the process, the deployment process? You're using this is for application management and application deployment, right? Spinnaker.
Yes.
Okay. So I want to understand your build and release process. Okay. From step one till the deployment till production. How many environments do you use generally? Lower and higher environments?
Around 22 environments were there.
22.
I mean, 22 environments. Like development is different actually. Like if we see consolidated, we can see only 4 environments were there.
4. Okay.
Yeah, dev environment. Next is the QA environment. Next is test. Next is the production. Like in test, we will have again UAT and MAT management test and LT also load test. And one more thing is a pre-pod. So in unit also. Yeah.
Okay, so 4 environments basically you use, and in test you have multiple things. So why do we have a QA environment at the second step?
Yeah, thing is that why we are maintaining that one, because whether application development team they have signed off for the deployment. So whether that application is working fine or not, the testing team will take place. They will do manual testing and automated testing. They are using certain tools like what is this tool called Selenium. Some tools they were using actually. They will confirm it. Once they confirm to us, right, then we will discuss with the again our internal team. There will be a CR review meeting. So we will raise a CR and UAT we will go again. There will be again load test for that.
Okay.
Once load test is done, then again it will go with the UAT. Once UAT is confirmed, then only we will go with the pre-prod. So once pre-prod is done, right, there will be failure activity we will be doing. In failure activity, what happens? The routing will be, because due to this deployment, what happens? So from one data center to other data center, they will be routing. So here we will make this down, and other data center will be making it up by using the Ansible pipeline scripts, or we can not a pipeline scripts, Ansible ad hoc commands we are using for that one. Roles has been defined. So we will down this one and we will make it up other data centers. Like that we can do it. So there is about 2, again in production also we have 2 data centers. One is required for disaster recovery. One is live, which is going with the.
No. Wait. Okay, we'll start from the very basics. Okay, I just want to understand like the whole process from step 1 till the production. How is your pipeline doing? What is that step 1, step 2, step 3, and step 4 like? First of all, first question is like in what language your code is written?
It was written for which purpose you're asking source code, right?
Yeah, like.
Yeah, source code is in Java.
Java, great. So you understood the question, right? Till production, each and every step has to be explained, like what is the first step, second step, third step, and till production how it goes. So like that. So what would be the first step?
Now first step, when we are integrating all the tools. So we will use the Git first. So where the code has to be pushed. Once it is pushed, then we need to build that one. So build and we need to push it to the while doing the build, there is a life cycle which is going through that different phases like a deployment.
One second. So you are building it. Is this step 2 or is step 1?
Step 2. First cloning the repo.
Okay.
Which is source code, which is that will clone first. After cloning, every time whenever Jenkins job is running, right, first thing it will do is that it will clone, because clone or else it will pull. Both we can see. But the first time it will clone, or else it will pull from the origin main actually, from that upstream job. It will pull. Once it is pulled, then this Maven job will be triggering, like a Maven install or deploy, whatever it may be. So the general we are using deployment. In this deployment, again, what happens? This Maven also there is an unit test cases will be going on. Sonar cube test also going on.
One second.
Once.
So setup 2 is build, right? Sorry, step 2 is build, and then step like can you just walk like step 1, step 2, step 3, because you are mixing things. So as you said that you will build something out of it, right? From your Java code. So what are you building?
Artifacts.
So what kind of artifact it is?
It's on a web archival. Most of the cases web archival or Java archival, so depending upon what they define in the form.
Oh, okay. So like your application is basically a jar file or a war file, or both?
Both sometimes. That's what I'm telling. Most of around 70% were jar files only, Java archivals only, and the rest of them web archivals. Like, because one application is having again 32 modules actually, sub-modules. So in the sub-module, some are using Java archival and some using web archival.
Okay.
If you want only specific to Java archival, I can jar.
So you are producing many jars and you are producing many war files, or one war file.
Yeah, if we consider only one module, right? Let me explain it clearly. So I'm just going with the parent and child form like that. What I'm explaining what ours is. So let us assume ours one application, how it will go. That's what you want me to explain, right? Or else what we did you want me to explain?
I just want to understand, like, you are producing artifacts, right? So you are saying that you produce around 60 to 70 jar files, and then there is a war file. So how are you combining both of them? I mean, there is a chance that you will deploy, right?
Yes, the deploy is there, but these all jobs are running separately. So just I'm telling, as I said, right, 32 sub-modules are there. Each module having separate job. So in that each separate job, some jobs are running, creating the packages called jar files, and some modules are creating was. In the sense I'm telling. And here, if we are specific to only, let us assume only one module. In that perspective, after pulling it, it goes to the build and Sonar cube test and unit test. And after the unit test is successful, build is successful, then this will be deployed into the Nexus server. So Nexus server, how it goes, Nexus or any artifacts. So this how we define in a POM file in distribution management, we can provide this repository related details there in POM file. Okay. So whenever you are producing a jar file and war file, okay. So I consider that each jar file and each war file has their own functionality. Yeah, it has its own functionality. Are they interdependent on each other? Yeah, some applications are interdependent are there. So that we need to take care actually. So whenever we are doing build, right, so we need to do whichever having dependency, that will trigger it later. So whichever it is the first job, we will trigger one job, and the second job which is dependent upon first one, that will be triggered in the second job actually. Okay. Because it is depending upon one, like upstream and downstream, like that we will provide which job has to be triggered first and then which need to be got. Okay, so after you build the artifacts, what's the third step? After building the artifacts, it needs to push into the artifact, the Nexus server. Okay, you're using Nexus. Yes. Okay. Okay. After that, step 4. And after the step 4, we have done with the deployment actually now. So you don't do any kind of testing before? No. We have done build now. CI we have done, continuous integration has been done. Next, we are going with the deployment.
Okay.
So in the deployment, what we will do, so there will be again deployment task will be there in the Ansible. So that will take care of this deployment. For deployment, other job, which was separate Jenkins job has been created. So to avoid, sometimes what happens, developers, sometimes anyone, they want application needs to be developed without build. So in that scenario, what happens if you combine these together, right? Build and deployment, even though you want to deploy, already code got merged. Again, what happens, this build and deployment both will take huge time. So in that scenario, based on the requirement, we have separated build and deployment separately. So based on the request, we will deploy it. So this deployment goes in a way, such a way that the whatever the artifact which was pushed next to the server, right? That source code which will be provided as a source, and deployment has been the destination path has been provided to the respective host. So that will be defined in inventory, from inventory, and that module name has been specified over there. So where we can use the add command for Ansible, inventory details we can give, and the shell module or any playbook we have, roles name, and to specify that, because 32 applications are there, again we need to provide -l. -l equal to that module name. If you want only specific one host, it has to be deployed. Sometimes what happens, there is a requirement like there are two servers in one module. So one module needs to be up, one module needs to be down. Like the requirement will be there. So in that scenario, we will do -l. Ansible, that all inventory detail after providing this one, -l and this module name, and after the -l limit, that's particular host. So this all, whatever the changes are there, the deployment from the Nexus server, that artifact which is there, that can be deployed to one host. Or if we want all the hosts, we can remove that limit extension. We can deploy it. Once the deployment is done, then there will automatic mail will trigger to the testing team. They can proceed with the deployment. Proceed with the testing cases.
Okay, so you talked about the SonarQube part, the testing part. Like, where is it happening in this pipeline?
Yeah, it is in the happening in the Jenkins pipeline itself, where it means before the build it takes place, during the build process which is takes. So in that Maven lifecycle will be there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in the Maven lifecycle itself, unit testing cases and code quality tests which will be taken care while deployment itself. Because in form file we will be defining what is the unit test related. It will be whether it's using JUnit, JUnit test cases, like which is the tool which mainly uses this one.
Okay.
And even SonarQube related, that is also provided inside the form. When this Maven lifecycle goes to our phases, right? In that phase itself, this all jobs will be, this all test cases will be triggered.
Okay.
Once this test cases are done, it will show as a success.
So if I understand correctly, in the build stage, whatever POM file you have written, you are creating the artifacts and you are running the SonarQube part as well. So in one step, you are running 2 to 3 sub steps. Did I understand it correctly?
Yes.
Okay, why did we go for like one step at a time? Why did we club everything in one step? I mean, who designed this process?
Yeah, it was designed by us only. Generally, it should be separately, it has to be defined. So we were going with this since from many months. There was no issue we have noticed generally. So because it was defined in the POM itself only, right? So any issue comes, it will be defined in the POM itself only.
Okay.
So that is the issue. Generally, it has to be separated for what we can say, these are user cases, like some prescribed way we need to do this. We need to separate, but still we have went done.
Okay. So this SonarQube is running on some VM or something, or a Docker container, or a standalone or something?
This was running in the separate server actually, SonarQube.
Mm-hmm.
So it was running in the separate server only. So it won't be in a container we have used. It is in the same our Monsoon server only. So where it has provided high availability, the two servers. So it was running from there itself.
Okay. So what kind of result does it produce? What kind of result do you see in SonarQube?
Generally we see smoke test and smell value and the code quality, how much it is that range actually, whether it's 80%, if it is code quality is there, we can go with the like that there are conditions were there in the SonarQube. Code quality, smell, there is some issues there. It will show triggers show some errors. If it is any code quality is less than 80%, means it won't go like that it was there.
Okay. Okay. What do we understand by this code quality?
Code quality is something like the SonarQube mostly used for where developers which are doing right. Sometimes there may be code will be succeeded, but that quality, whatever they not quality, whatever the code they have provided, is it up to the mark or not? Whether it's defined as per the standards or not, it will check. There are some rules will be provided over there. It will check accordingly and throw any error if it is comes.
Okay.
Because sometimes what happens, then maybe user can write by his own way, any way he want. So instead of writing in a simpler way, he may go with beyond something different. So security issues also we can define over there. So whether he is using up to the mark or not, like we can see it from there.
Okay. Okay. So, is this SonarQube is what kind of software is it? Is it a dynamic testing or static testing?
This part I'm not sure.
Okay.
Actually,
Okay.
it's a
No problem.
dynamic static. Mostly, I'm thinking should be might be static only. I'm thinking maybe because when we start at that time only it will trigger. So after that it won't be doing any dynamic. It is coming to the testing because whenever the job triggers, then only it will come into the picture. Just I'm assuming, but I'm not sure
Okay.
whether I'm not what exposed explicitly with SonarQube mostly, but we have some basic idea how it goes.
Okay. Okay. Do you know how to integrate this SonarQube with any pipeline, any sort of pipeline?
SonarQube, right? Generally, we will be defining it in the POM file. That will be taken care. In the POM file, we can define, or else in the Jenkins also, we need to install some SonarQube plugin. From there, we can provide all the credentials and all the user cases, and from there it can be provided. Like that, we can integrate.
Okay.
Yeah. In which node it is running, the node details.
Okay. Let's walk through the CD process. So, can you just walk one step by one step that what is the CD process?
Then we will conclude that deployment has been fine. This is still deployment. After the deployment went fine, right? After we get a confirmation from the QA team, we will deploy whatever the deployment we have done in the like a UAT environment section. Again, this artifact, stable artifact and tested artifact, which has all the sign off, that will be pushed into the another server that is called McQueen we have used.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of pushing Nexus is used for non-prod, and from here this will be pushed into the McQueen. McQueen is an restricted artifact tree, restricted for all the users. It will be only provided access for only certain users only, so that they can take, they can provide that path McQueen user, McQueen server. From there it will download. It will direct production actually. So this comes under for production related. We are not using Jenkins. We are using Ansible only from Banyan. What is that called? CLA only. Ad hoc basis only we are deploying using the Ansible script. We are not using any automated deployment. So till delivery, it was an till delivery, it is an automated. Till deployment, it is not there. But while doing deployment, we have to provide the serial number with password protector for that. Nobody can do only that CR number which maps with the user who has access, and password will be triggered to the in a box link actually that and it is in an encrypted. So that we will take and provide that. Then only we can go with the production deployment. So this is how generate a CD which goes through.
Okay. Okay. So, what is the difference between continuous delivery and continuous deployment?
Yeah, continuous delivery and deployment, as I said just now. The major difference between continuous delivery in the deployment in the lower environments, like non-prod or pre-prod till that one. But continuous deployment mainly takes the production related deployment, like deploying the artifacts or anything which goes with the life. So deployment we have to be very cautious and very careful while doing deployment. So for deployment we were using Ansible tools. generally. Ansible, Docker also we can use, but at present we are using Ansible only most of the cases. Containerization I haven't not done, but still it is under the progress. We can go with the containers related also, like so we can provide a Docker run, Docker build we can do it. So from that build it will generate. Then from that snapshot we can run the container based on that. Rolling roll back and rolling forward and rolling back. So we can proceed like that.
Okay. 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 So you have worked on AWS, right?
Yes.
So I'll throw some scenario-based question, and let's see how you can go about it. Okay.
Yeah.
Consider you have an AWS account and you are the primary admin over there. Okay.
Okay. All access I have. Like
You have whole access. I
root
mean,
access. Yeah,
you have
root
the root
access.
access. You are the boss,
Yeah.
basically. Okay. So you have many child accounts under this primary AWS account. How will you track and manage the coverage and utilization of reserve instances and saving plans for EC2 spread across these child accounts?
I didn't get child accounts. We need to.
Okay, how do you manage the child accounts? Like, what are they doing? How will you track how they are using? What is the rules and policies they have? Uh,
Yeah, generally I will using this IAM learning. So from there I can restricted access for them, so like a granular access for them. So not only specific role based I can provide a dev separate team and this all separate. So from here whatever they are doing, cloud trail. So I can configure the cloud trail. From there I can know how these guys are doing, how they are logging, and which servers they are accessing. So that can be used from the cloud trail configuration as well. So
okay.
here I can use a policy generator. From the policies I can define which particular user can access only particular services like that. In S3 also we can give him, and for even customize also we can do, like inline something is there, inline related also customized policies also we can do. So
Okay.
like that I can manage.
Okay. 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 What's the difference between a rule and a policy in AWS?
Yeah, role is something like it's like whether he is working for dev environment. Yeah. So whether he is working for which environment he is working for, like whether his role is only for Jenkins build and deployments or only Ansible related he is access, or else he is having only container related. So that we can define in a roles. So role will be again binded with again policies. Here in policies, the particular role whomsoever is there, this that in role defined, from that role only we can define in the policies which he can access. That can only be provided in the policy. Like if you want only S3 bucket, only read access. That can be provided in the provided in the what is called policies, actually policy window. So in role we can add, these are the policies are there, right? In role, if we want in future we can change his role to this S3 bucket, whole access or read access, whatever it may be, we can add all the policies too.
Okay. Okay. So your application uses Kubernetes as well?
Yeah, earlier in my around after when I entered the best, at that time I was done my POC. That perspective and knowledge, you can if you want I can go with that as well.
Okay. Okay. So do you have any idea of schedule-based auto-scaling in Kubernetes pods? Any idea about that?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Can you give me an example of it?
Yeah, schedule based. Sometimes what happens, there will be request will be very high on some particular time. Let us say daytime. There will be huge request will be coming into the which is hitting the server. At that time, we can define a time because this could be getting the logs from VPC logs as well as a cloud trail also. At what time these logs are there. So from that time, we can make it horizontal scaling depending upon the number of requests. If the requests are more high, we can make it horizontal scaling. So from there we can define, going through this scaling, searching over there, we can provide all the respective matrices over there and how many number of servers required, minimum and maximum, and at what time the server has to be, like scaling has to be taken place, what is the maximum limit based on the number of requests. It is like we can define based on the latent as well, weighted or based on even this as well. What is it called? Even failure related also sometimes. So like that also we can define over there in a metrics window actually in AWS.
Okay. I think I'm done. Do you have any questions for me?